Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly wondered if people still see you as attractive as the years go by? It's natural, especially once you've crossed 50, to question whether your looks still make an impression, or if the charm you carried in your younger days has started to fade. But here's something you might not realize. You may actually be far more attractive than you give yourself credit for. Attractiveness is not only about youthful features or a head full of hair, it's deeper. It's something that grows and matures over time, shaped by wisdom, life experience, and the way you carry yourself through the world. People notice more than you think. The way others react to you, how they engage in conversation, the subtle signals they send with a smile or a glance, all of these speak volumes about the way they perceive your presence. There are very clear and undeniable signs that you're a good-looking older man, even if you don't always see it when you look in the mirror. In this video, we're going to dive into 7 of those signs. These aren't just about physical features, but about the presence, confidence, and energy that naturally draw people to you. Whether it's the way you walk into a room, the way others respond to your stories, or the compliments you receive without fully recognizing their meaning, these signals reveal more than you might think. Stay with me until the end, because you may discover that the very qualities you've been overlooking are exactly what make you stand out. You may come to realize that your confidence, your self-assurance, and even your sense of personal style are working in your favor far more than you've ever imagined. And who knows, by the time we're finished, you might just see yourself in an entirely new light. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. If you enjoy this one, type the number 1 in the comments. If it's not your cup of tea, type 0 and let me know, so I can continue making videos that bring you real value. Now, let's dive in. Number 1. People often come to you for advice or assistance. One of the strongest, yet often overlooked indicators that women, and people in general, find you attractive is how often they seek you out for advice, guidance, or even casual help. You may not immediately think of this as connected to attractiveness, but it speaks volumes about the way others see you. As you grow older, your experiences, wisdom, and steady demeanor set you apart. People recognize that you've lived through life's highs and lows, and that you carry a calm strength that is both reassuring and compelling. Women in particular are naturally drawn to men who embody confidence, reliability, and emotional intelligence. These traits don't just show up in your words, they're reflected in the way people naturally gravitate toward you. Think back to those times when younger men asked you for career advice, or when friends confided in you about personal struggles. Maybe even strangers approached you on the street, trusting your presence enough to ask for directions. These moments may seem ordinary, but they're not random. They highlight the fact that people see you as someone worth listening to, and that trustworthiness is deeply attractive. Take Richard, age 67, for example. He never thought of himself as particularly handsome, yet at social gatherings, work events, or even casual outings, people often turned to him for insight. Younger men wanted his perspective on relationships. Women lingered in conversation longer than necessary, asking about his experiences. His presence made people feel at ease. That kind of quiet confidence doesn't need to be announced. It speaks for itself. Number 2, you receive compliments on your style and grooming. A man who takes pride in his appearance will always stand out, no matter his age. If people regularly comment on your clothing, grooming, or the way you carry yourself, that's a clear signal you're leaving a strong impression. These aren't just polite throwaway compliments, they're signs that others perceive you as attractive. As men age, many develop their own distinct style, one that reflects confidence, refinement, and self-respect. A tailored blazer, polished shoes, a well-kept beard, or even a signature scent. These details tell the world that you value yourself. Women notice that. They appreciate the effort, and it amplifies your presence. Robert, at 68, discovered this later in life. He never thought of himself as stylish, but he kept hearing remarks like, "That color looks great on you," or "You always look so put together." At first, he dismissed them as polite gestures, but eventually he realized these comments were recognition. They were reflections of how others perceived him, refined, confident, attractive. Style isn't about following trends, it's about knowing what works for you and wearing it with ease. Number 3. Women hold eye contact with you longer than usual. Attraction often reveals itself in subtle, unspoken ways. One of the clearest signs is prolonged eye contact. If you've noticed women holding your gaze just a moment longer than necessary, that's rarely an accident. It's a subconscious signal of admiration or interest. Charles, age 72, had long assumed women didn't notice him anymore. But one day in a bookstore, he realized a younger woman had been glancing at him more than once, her eyes lingering for just a second too long before she smiled and returned to her reading. What Charles didn't understand at first was that his composed demeanor and quiet confidence had caught her attention. Women of all ages appreciate a man who carries himself with self-assurance. If you've experienced these lingering glances, don't dismiss them. They may be some of the clearest signals of your appeal. Number 4. Women naturally gravitate toward you. Another strong sign is the way people seem drawn to you without effort. This doesn't come from a chiseled jawline or youthful looks. It comes from something deeper: your presence, your confidence, and the sense of ease you bring to a room. Think about those moments when people engage with you easily in casual conversations, lean in to listen when you talk, or seem genuinely curious about your stories. That's no accident. An attractive man carries himself with quiet authority and calmness, qualities that make others feel comfortable. When women choose to linger in conversations, ask questions, or share their own stories freely, it's because your presence has created trust and connection. That's attraction on a level that lasts. Number 5. You have a confident, relaxed presence. One of the most magnetic qualities in an older man has nothing to do with physical appearance. It's the aura of calm confidence. Unlike younger men who may still be trying to prove themselves, an older man who is at ease in his own skin radiates something powerful. He doesn't have to be the loudest in the room or demand attention. His very presence commands quiet respect. George, at 74, embodies this. He doesn't try to impress anyone, yet people naturally gather around him. His calm confidence draws people in, and women, in particular, notice this quality. True confidence can't be faked, and it's one of the most attractive traits a man can carry. Number 6. You receive subtle compliments on your physical vitality. Attractiveness is also reflected in the way you take care of yourself. When people make remarks about your posture, your energy, or even your handshake, they're noticing more than you think. You don't need to look like an athlete to be appealing. Staying active, walking with purpose, and carrying yourself with good posture send strong signals about your vitality. Thomas, age 69, wasn't a gym fanatic, but he walked daily and kept moving. Women often remarked on his energy, his posture, or his strong handshake. These weren't just casual compliments, they were recognition of his vitality, which in itself is attractive. Number 7. Women laugh at your jokes, even the corny ones. Finally, humor is one of the most underrated yet powerful signs of attraction. If women laugh at your jokes, even the simple or corny ones, it means they enjoy being around you. Laughter isn't just about humor, it's about connection. When a woman laughs, especially when she touches your arm, leans in, or stays engaged in the conversation, she's showing she enjoys your presence. Henry, age 73, often made light-hearted jokes. At first, he thought women were just being polite when they laughed, but over time, he noticed a pattern. They lingered, stayed engaged, and seemed to light up in his company. His humor wasn't just making them laugh, it was building a bond. Final thoughts. As we wrap this up, take a moment to reflect. Maybe you've noticed some of these signs in your own life. Maybe you've overlooked them, thinking they didn't mean much. The truth is, your attractiveness isn't measured by wrinkles, hair color, or age. It's reflected in your presence, your confidence, your vitality, and the way others feel when they're around you. Many men underestimate how much they stand out as they get older, but women notice. The way you carry yourself, the care you put into your appearance, the wisdom in your words, and the calm assurance you project. These are qualities younger men simply can't replicate. So, which of these signs do you recognize in yourself? Which one resonates most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and encourages. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.